and the brain flips it back to how it really is. By the way, the only part of the body that has no blood supply is the cornea of the eye. Yeah, that one. It receives oxygen directly from the air. Wait a second. Something is ringing around. His phone, I guess. Where is it? Ah, it's his boss calling.
You believe that you are special.
His eyes are expanding now, and pupils are dilating. It seems he's nervous and scared. Also, the more the brain works, the larger the pupils become. He's probably trying hard to come up with something to tell his boss. Let's hurry to the ears. I want to hear what is going to happen. Uh-oh, it seems his boss has gone wild. Well, it's already 9 a.m., and this guy is still at home. You can hear how loud the boss is screaming, and see how the eardrum is...
I will not be talking during these videos too much, because I literally have to charge my phone at the same time while I'm watching something, so...
There isn't any other mechanism that responds to the smallest changes in air pressure with such striking accuracy. It transforms the vibrational motion of the sound wave into a certain sensation, which our brain perceives as sound. Speaking about the visit as well, 100,000 chemical reactions. Amazing, isn't it? As we can see, Wernicke's area and Broca's area are to his boss. Wait a second. Something else is happening. Why is he shaking? No! He's choking. Didn't he learn that he's not supposed to eat while talking? Let's get to the nasopharynx quickly. The larynx usually closes in order to prevent food from getting into the respiratory tract. But while talking, the larynx might remain open. Oh my. Judging by the smell, it's a piece of...
Okay guys, so apparently we're going on a journey to the edge of space in this video. I'm gonna be like turning my camera so you can see what it looks like to be here. A lady was just talking, she said, space. This is pretty cool.
The trip has just begun, but you've already flown past the tallest building in the world, the Burj Khalifa in Dubai. But the Jeddah Tower in Saudi Arabia, which is already under construction, is set to overtake it, reaching just over 3,200 feet.
God.
If you've ever skydived before, this is about the altitude at which you probably would have jumped out of the airplane. Now might be a good time to look down.
Wow.
If you listen closely, you can hear the precipitation inside this cloud. And if you look up, you can see it falling down around you. At this altitude, the temperature is so cold that what you're actually seeing is sleet and snow. We're coming up to the height of Mount Everest, the tallest mountain in the world. Its peak is about 2,700 feet above what mountaineers call the dead zone, where oxygen is too scarce to breathe. Just a short distance above Everest Peak is the cruising altitude of commercial flights. Look around to see an angle of the world you wouldn't normally see sitting in an airplane. It may not feel like it, but you're traveling at over 65 miles an hour, ascending at more than 1,000 feet per minute. This might be because we hit the jet stream, a current of fast-moving air cutting through our atmosphere. Right now, the air pressure is about 90% lower than it is back on the ground, close to the atmospheric pressure in space. Under these conditions, your body would not be able to survive without a spacesuit. This is about the altitude where our cameras died. However, the balloon didn't. It kept traveling to a height of over 114,000 feet, where, because of the drop in air pressure, the helium inside expanded so much that the balloon burst. The cameras and equipment fell back down to Earth, where our Seeker team tracked and found it. Everything's still intact, and just a few miles from where we launched. We had a plan to go to the stratosphere, to bring seekers like you to a place that you wouldn't otherwise be able to go, to experience the world from a new angle, to take you to the edges of the Earth.
GCU is leading in the area of computer science and IT. Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University.
Well, that was quick.
Initially, I just wanted to be an underwater explorer. Becoming a diver, I realized that the big way for me to explore the ocean was with a camera. My name is Brian Scarry, and I'm a National Geographic magazine photographer that specializes in ocean wildlife. Buck Island is this spectacular coral reef. You feel like you're in a story.
Hello wonderful person, this is Anton, and in today's 360 video, we'll explore 7 most likely places where we might actually find alien life in our solar system. Now let's begin our adventure on the first object here, and as you may have guessed, it's of course Mars. Now Mars has always been a very unusual object where we actually thought the life does exist, or at least came from originally, and maybe then landed on Earth. This is actually a hypothesis known as panspermia. Now, what we are interested about is, of course, some of the signs that we've seen that may indicate that Mars may have had life. So, for example, some of the rocks we've discovered on Mars may actually have similar structures that we have on Earth that usually are biological in origin. But one specific interesting thing about Mars is the so-called Horowitz crater that actually seems to have unusual dark stripes that appear on the Martian soil in summertime, and we still don't really know what causes them. And although it's possible that it's actually some kind of a salty water that is forming these unusual stripes, it also is possible that it's caused by some kind of a bacterial life. And so hopefully one day we'll discover what actually is on Mars and possibly even land and establish a colony. Now the second object I wanted to explore is our other neighbor known as Venus. Now surprisingly, even though this planet is extremely very pressurized, very dry, and has quite a lot of unusually strong atmospheric effects, including sulfuric acid that's part of the atmosphere, the upper layers of this planet seem to be very, very, very nice. As a matter of fact, some of the parts of atmosphere are very Earth-like, and we've even seen some signs of unusual chemistry going on in these upper atmosphere clouds, and possibly even signs of changes in atmosphere that may actually indicate microbial life living in the upper layers of Venusian atmosphere. And some of this chemistry involves a little bit of sulfur dioxide and carbon monoxide that actually might serve as some kind of a food molecule for these microbes. But specifically here, we actually have detected some unusual patterns of ultraviolet light that are actually surprisingly unpredictable in Venus and may actually indicate that something is causing the unusual reflections on Venus, which actually might be created by some kind of a microbial life that lives in the upper clouds of Venus. So hopefully one day we'll send a probe or even establish some kind of a flying city colony that will learn more about this unusual planet. We now are going to go to Jupiter and